Lon, a lot of people think that they have to have a First Financial Bank relationship before they can be a First Financial Trust. However, we work with people all over the state of Texas and in many different states across this nation. So can you elaborate a little bit to the truth and untruth of that as far as we have to have a banking relationship to have a trust relationship?
Sure. That's a great question. We do work with a lot of clients that don't have banking relationships with First Financial. And we can do that, and we are structured and set up to be able to do that in an effective way. But I would say that there's a lot of synergies that you can gain by being both a First Financial Trust client and a First Financial Bank client. And I'll give you an example. It's a story that I use, and I think it's a great example. We were in a scenario where a physician was moving into Abilene. I'll use Abilene as an example. And a physician's moving into Abilene. What does he need? That physician needs access to a home. So he's buying a home. So, he gets connected with First Financial Mortgage, and we're able to provide the mortgage on his home, but he's also buying into a practice. And so he immediately starts working with one of our lenders to make sure that he has the appropriate loan structure and provisions to buy into that practice. And then ultimately he wants to start saving for retirement, for his kids' college, for the future generations. And so then he starts working with us in First Financial Trust. And so in one relationship, we were able to solve the whole breadth of his financial needs through the solutions offered at First Financial Bankshares. And what happens then is it creates a lot of synergy, because now with everything inside the First Financial atmosphere, we have the ability, or environment, we have the ability to work with each other as needs change, maybe on the lending perspective. We have the ability to provide information and work with the lenders from the trust side on what the investment management accounts are like, what their whole financial picture looks like, and make that relationship, make that transaction and everything a lot more seamless. As he has needs for cash distributions, with those banking accounts at First Financial, it makes it a lot quicker to access those for him and a lot more seamless. When he's wanting to make contributions up to the trust company instead of having it sitting in his bank account, again, that's a lot more seamless, a lot cleaner and easier way for us to manage it. And so having it all under the First Financial umbrella creates a lot of synergy where we communicate within the organization and make the client experience as seamless and simple as possible. And it's a great experience for the clients, and it makes it easier for us as well as trust clients or trust company employees, but also as bankers.
Yeah, and I'd say that that's a big key that separates us from a lot of our competitors, is having all of those people that we work with, because any financial advisor is going to collaborate with your CPAs and your estate attorneys, because they all mesh together. But I think one thing that separates us tremendously is, yes, we're working with outside CPAs. We're working with outside estate attorneys. We're working with outside insurance agents. But we have great connections and we have great lines of communication when it comes to the banking needs as well.
Absolutely.
And a lot of the times that those overlap, and things that are happening at the bank are going to affect your trust accounts, and things that are happening in your trust accounts or your investment accounts are going to affect your bank accounts. So having that seamless transition between the two, rather than having it from an external institution that is still easy and we can still do, but it just seems like it's going to be a little bit more liquid, a little bit more efficient, because instead of you having to call, 5 different people to get one thing done, one person at First Financial Trust could say, hey, I need this done. And I know this isn't your thing because this is a banking thing. It's like, well, no, I've got the exact contact that I need to get a hold of and get this matter resolved, so you don't even have to make another phone call.
And we do a lot of advising, even between bank and trust, when we have clients, mutual clients. And so it's not an uncommon situation for us to call a meeting and for it to be the banker and the trust client or trust employee working together to find what's the best solution for this particular client, for this particular situation. And we can work through that, and then we can call a meeting with the client, bring them into the conversation, lay out the options that are available, and say, look, we've talked about it, here's all of your options, but because of the synergies between us and the bank, here's the ultimate best option for you. And we can do a lot of that work behind the scenes for the client, without having to spend the client's time, so that they get, best in class solutions at the simplest and seamless way possible.
Yeah, if only we could summarize all of these things that we do behind the scenes for the clients
That's
that
right.
they don't see. But that's definitely one of the better benefits to having a First Financial Bank, but not necessary to have a First Financial Trust account.